Hi, my name is Cold Beer and... Oh. Hello? Yes, it's me. Who's this? See? Oh, so weird. So, apparently we just started with Call of the Sea. A wonderful game for puzzle lovers when you unlock the secrets in the Hunt of Missing expedition. It is the year 1934. In the far reaches of South Pacific, you play as Nora, who has crossed the ocean following the trail of her missing husband's expedition and finds herself in a lush island paradise, a nameless forgotten place dotted with the remnants of lost civilization. What strange mysteries does it hold? And what might Nora dig up in her quest for the truth? Maybe a better recipe for potato salad? Nah, I doubt it. People are talking that Call of the Sea has very interesting story and the visuals are stunning. On Steam it has about 90% of positive reviews, and that is definitely enough for you to dive in this first-person story-rich adventure. Find your husband, my hero. Find him alive. Into the Breach. This simple-looking game is actually an officially recognized masterpiece. It has won Best Strategy Game title at the Game Awards. It was announced as a Game of the Year by PC Gamer, and on Steam it has above 90% of positive reviews left by thousands of people. So here the remnants of human civilization are threatened by enormous creatures breeding beneath the earth, and all hope is in your hands. You must control powerful mechs from the future to hold off this alien threat, and each attempt to save the world presents a new randomly generated challenge. Basically, the game throws a different strategic puzzle at you every time and you have to solve it, and that is somehow really fun to do. Just make sure you like both puzzles and strategy games, because it is quite challenging, and if your brain is smooth, you may want to play some other game instead. Don't ask why I know this. Dead Island 2. I played the game when it came out, and I can honestly say that it was an awesome experience. One of the common misconceptions was that Dead Island 2 is an open-world game, but in reality it is quite linear, and I love that, especially after Dying Light 2 with boring copy-paste assets all around the map. When I played Dead Island 2, I could honestly tell that they did their best in making the environment engaging and original. Well, a few copy-pasted paintings can ruin the immersion sometimes, but the whole picture, pun intended, was great. And I can say for sure that this is not a full-fledged horror game. It is more like arcade hack and slasher with a few horror elements. Alright, and a few creepy jump scares as well. The gameplay is fast-paced and fun. The feeling of the recently started apocalypse is there as well. In short, this game feels just right, and it is nicely polished. By the way, after my playtime I have made an in-depth and really funny review and uploaded it to my channel. And after it got 1000 views, YouTube's algorithm just killed it and never ever recommended it for anyone ever again. That's why I hate doing reviews. But you can click on the card above and watch it. I promise you will have a great time and may even buy the game after it. COCOON. This wonderful game is made by the same designer who developed legendary Limbo and Inside, so that should grab your attention. Also the fact that the game is a proud owner of more than 90% of positive review score on Steam. This is a unique take on the puzzle-adventure genre where each world exists within an orb that you can carry on your back. Here you'll have to wrap your head around the core mechanic of leaping between worlds and combine, manipulate and rearrange them to solve intricate puzzles. You will interact with alien environments and biomechanical devices left behind by an ancient civilization, journey through unique and diverse biomes, from industrial structures to massive organic caverns. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing, that's gross. Anyway, you will have to discover how these worlds and environments are connected to one another. People who played it are praising the game and saying that it will bend you over, at least your mind. Return of the Obra Dinn. This may come as a surprise, but the game has an overwhelmingly positive review score left by thousands of people who actually bought and played the game. In 1802, the merchant ship Obra Dinn set out from London for the Orient with over 200 tons of trade goods. 6 months later, it hadn't met its rendezvous point and was declared lost at sea. But early this morning, about 5 years after its disappearance, the Obra Dinn drifted into a port with damaged sails and no visible crew. As insurance investigator for the East India Company's London office, you dispatch immediately to find means to board the ship and prepare an assessment of damages. So this is a first-person mystery adventure based on exploration and logical deduction. In other words, a story-rich, single-player, atmospheric, horror detective retro walking simulator Return of the Jedi of the Planet of the Apes. Core Keeper. Drawn to a mysterious relic, you are an explorer who awakens in an ancient cavern of creatures, resources and trinkets. Here you will mine relics and resources to build your base, craft new equipment, survive and power up the core. Of course, you will need to defeat giant monsters, discover hidden secrets, farm crops, cook new recipes and explore a procedurally generated underground world in a mining sandbox adventure for 1 to 8 players. And I can for sure say that this is a good game. On Steam you will find above 90% positive reviews left by tens of thousands of players who bought the game. Also, I must mention that Core Keeper is way more fun in multiplayer mode, so grab your imaginary friend and dive into adventures together. Outer Wilds. This is one of the best indie games you can find in general. It was named Game of the Year by Giant Bomb, Polygon, Eurogamer and The Guardian, so that alone should grab your attention. If it grabs something else, call the police. Or grab back, I don't judge. Here you are, the newest recruit of Outer Wilds Ventures, a space program searching for answers in a strange, constantly evolving solar system. You will have to gather wisdom for the glory of your nation, because you are the one responsible for exploring outer space. When I played the game, I flew directly towards the sun and died, so believe you me, controlling this spaceship is one of the hardest things you will ever do. Well, I'm probably exaggerating a bit, but it is as difficult as it is fun as well. The spaceship is very responsive, so during your adventures you will have to find out what lurks in the heart of the ominous Dog Bramble, who built the alien city on the moon. Well, obviously aliens, but you know what I mean. Can the endless time loop be stopped? And why is potato salad so delicious? Answers await you in the most dangerous reaches of space. Game has overwhelmingly positive reviews on Steam, so you can't be wrong with this one. Zombie Army 4: Dead War. Hitler's hordes are back for more. Abominable occult enemies, epic weapons and a harrowing new campaign for 1 to 4 players await you in 1940s Europe, as you will have to fight to save humankind from undead Armageddon. The game offers huge new levels where you uncover a sinister plan that takes you across Italy and beyond. You will fight the forces of darkness in corpse-riddled canals, survive a zombie zoo, and journey to dark, inexplicable places no person has been before and live to tell the tale. The game is also armed with the old good X-ray kill camera. You can watch in slow motion as bullets, bombs and other stuff destroy bones and flesh in a see-through vision. Ain't gonna lie, that is really satisfying. And when zombies surround you, you can fight back in melee combat as well. Game has a very positive review score, and the only thing people are mainly complaining about is that this is a third-person only game. No first-person shooting action here, sadly. Observation. This is a sci-fi thriller where you will have to uncover what happened to the crew of the space station through the lens of artificial intelligence. You will assume the role of AI by operating the station's control systems, cameras and tools. The game is blending narrative adventure, puzzles, exploration and cosmic existential horror. You will uncover the true nature of yourself, your crew and the mysterious, always present hexagon on Saturn. The story, horror atmosphere and music is great, but the game can be a buggy mess if your gaming setup is slightly out of the ordinary. Also, people on Steam are recommending playing it with a gamepad. But in general, it seems that Observation is a great deal for the fans of 2001: A Space Odyssey and Solaris movies. I will say probably blasphemy that I liked Solaris with George Clooney way more than that Soviet film with Donatas Banionis as the main protagonist. Way more. Bonfire Peaks. There is a big chance that you have never heard about this game, but in my channel I am famous for digging up hidden treasures like this. Bonfire Peaks is a puzzle game where you will navigate various environmental riddles in a beautifully designed world. One of the things that was really surprising for me was how much time people have spent playing this game. The medium ground would be around 40 hours, but I have seen several dudes with more than 100 hours of playtime. The game itself has above 90% positive reviews. Even the dude who gave a negative review has 34 hours on record. I guess he's a masochist of some sort. You know, usually when I don't like something, I don't participate in that activity for 34 hours. Just saying, but who am I to judge? Anyway, this is a very clever game with interesting puzzle mechanics that won't let you dive into boredom. Also, you can play the demo version on Steam absolutely free. The Elder Scrolls V: Skyrim Special Edition. This version with upgraded graphics was released 7 years ago, and it still has about 25,000 players in game simultaneously at all times. By player count on Steam it holds 46 plays among all the games. That shows how huge and popular this game is. There is no doubt that Skyrim is a masterpiece of open-world games, and in my opinion it was decrowned from the throne of the best game in the field only by the third Witcher. By now it is of course a bit outdated, but it still lets you dive into a huge fantasy world and explore incredible places. Skyrim is single player only. There is no bullshit of other players invading your game like in Elden Ring, no other gamers walking around like in Diablo 4 when you just try to accomplish single player campaign. Here you are alone, and everything is done for your personal pleasure. You can become a warrior, mage, assassin or drug addict. You know, it's up to you. Skyrim is like a great book where you are the main protagonist. Superhero to be fair, but the lore is super deep. Stories, especially for guild quests, are great, and if you never played it, just do it. Wizard with a Gun. This is an online cooperative sandbox survival game set in a magical wilderness littered with monsters and arcane mysteries. You will embark on a journey alone or with a friend to collect, craft and outfit your wizard however you see fit. Carefully designed weapons, bullets and furnishings for your tower, but also you'll have to try not to burn it all down as the magic you wield escalates beyond your control. People are saying that the game is very fun, but there are few buts. If you play it alone, it will become repetitive and grindy after a few hours, but if you have friends, which is unlikely, that may change the perspective a bit. This game is fun with friends. People who left reviews on Steam have from 4 to around 25 hours of gameplay on record, so not that bad. Also, the art style is awesome. Not as awesome as you, my friend, but still really pleasant for the eyes. The Inheritance of Crimson Manor. Here you'll experience a Penny Dreadful-like gothic horror story set in a beautiful Victorian-era manor with a dark secret within. The horror aspect is only in the gothic dark tone narrative. Here you won't find any monsters or jump scares. It's a calm detective puzzle-solving experience enshrouded in an amazing atmosphere. To be honest, most puzzle games lack this outer layer to connect all the dots, to set the mood and so on, but The Inheritance of Crimson Manor does this in a charming way. Here you'll find Resident Evil-inspired level unlock design, dynamic hint system for less fortunate ones in the IQ field, logic and inventory puzzles, non-linear exploration and a cool horror story that holds all of this together. You know, it holds the story and not your hand, or... if you know, you know. Looks like a nice title for your dark evenings. Light the candles around you for the atmosphere when you play. It will set the mood, believe you me. Deus Ex Human Revolution Director's Cut. This is a stealth-based game, meaning that you can shoot your way through the enemies or sneak up behind them without being traced, hack systems to retrieve information, or use your social skills to extract information from key characters. There are always choices, multiple approaches, multiple paths and multiple tools at your disposal. People on Steam are talking that Deus Ex is really enjoyable, although very linear. But in this instance, the linear aspect is a good thing, because despite the fact that the game is guiding you in your path, it doesn't hold your hand or penis, and you are free to approach every situation as you please. And as I've mentioned before, the ways of playing are really numerous, and the only limit is your imagination. That also means that everyone without imagination has no limits at all. Let it sink. Yeah, also I can promise that in Deus Ex you will find many amazing music scores. The game has a really exceptional soundtrack which is creating an amazing atmosphere. Myst. This puzzle game was one of the first titles I have ever played on my PC. That was around 30 years ago, but don't worry, this version I'm talking about is fully remastered in 3D and you can even play it in VR. So here you arrive to a beautiful island shrouded in mystery so you could unravel its secrets. As you learn what happened here, you will find that you are playing the key role in an epic story whose ending has not yet been written. One thing I must mention here is that the puzzles here are really difficult, so if you are not some puzzle game veteran, be careful here, because your gameplay can become a never-ending Google fest. Anyway, the game is gorgeous, it has nice steampunk and clockwork science elements in it, and that is always a feast for the eyes, and it will melt your smooth brain, maybe in a good way. Ghostbusters, the video game remastered. Originally the game was released in 2009, but it was remastered in 2090s, and now it's shining like a modern game it should be. More than 90% of positive review scores can confirm that with ease. Here you will join the Ghostbusters team, fight monsters, capture ghosts, search for artifacts, and have a blast destroying almost everything around you. The single-player campaign will put you through a story full of mystery and adventure. This authentic experience features the voices of Bill Murray and other original actors. Even the story is written by the writers of original films. This is the real deal. So, who you gonna call?
Yo mama.
Iratus, Lord of the Dead. This is a turn-based tactical roguelite RPG set in a dark fantasy universe. You'll have to lead an army of undead to reach the surface world and bring death to the mortal realms. You know, they lack death on the surface, so you are ready to supply the demand. So you will control an obedient army of the living dead. You know, all the classic monsters. Skeletons, zombies, banshees... other unliving warriors, I swear, I know more. And you will create your soldiers the only way a necromancer knows how, from the body parts of your slain enemies. Iratus definitely has a high replayability due to different minion composition in your team. Also, there are multiple different pathways to take when it comes to finishing the game. The main story will take up to 12 hours of your boring life. Terra Nil. This is a game about transforming a barren, lifeless landscape into a thriving, vibrant called Biristan. Here you will turn dead soil into fertile grassland, clean polluted oceans, plant sprawling forests, and create the ideal habitat for animals to call home. You will use advanced eco-technology to purify the soil, creating plains, wetlands, rainforests, beaches, wildflowers, and so on. Then efficiently recycle everything you've built, leaving the environment pristine for its new animal inhabitants. The landscapes are procedurally generated, so no two playthroughs will ever be the same. They may look the same, feel the same, and play the same, but they won't be the same. That's the beauty of procedural generation with a spoon of salty irony. So here you'll enjoy lush, hand-painted environments, relaxing music, and an atmospheric ambient soundscape. It is a wonderful game with a very positive review score on Steam. And now thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Subscribe.